Why do you call yourself a scientist?
Man, honestly, it's just for the culture. I call, getting reps and getting into the gym. We call it the lab. I just try. He definitely set on my right. I try to right to left the piss out of him. He just put his hand right here, sat right there, but he go lay it up, smack me on the butt, and then that was perfect for me. That was my first 2 plays in college basketball.
What you would say, what you remember was like your best or your worst game?
Again, I almost shitted on myself. I was scared. I say, so I'm gonna be a black tight guy. You could throw it into an automatic too, but he's also a live play. So I was throwing lives off the P&I, looking like I knew what I was doing early. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's the nature of the game. That's the last action. That's the main action at the highest level. Coaching is just leadership qualities. Being able to listen as well. Because you got to ask what guys that's going to assist you, and you can't be stubborn on what you think is the correct way. I want to hear from all sides, and maybe collectively with a group, so we can do.
So you think like somebody had this in order from the beginning?
Make the style go a certain way, but then how I just, at the end of the day, people still got their own coaching styles, right?
Welcome to Game Related, where we highlight opportunities and obstacles from former athletes with the thought process of giving future generations a better understanding about the game.
These conversations are meant to bring awareness to the hardships and the opportunities that come along with the game. Let's get game related.
All right, y'all, we back with another episode, man. I think this is episode 27?
Yeah,
man. Shout out to consistency right here, man.
Stacking days.
Yes, sir, man. So we got the scientists in the building today, Jasper Williams. Jasper, you say you went to the real HU?
I went to the real HU.
Went to the real HU, man. He's done a lot of coaching, a lot of training, man. We can't wait to dial in and have this wonderful conversation about what's going on with him. Welcome to the show.
Yep. Appreciate you guys having me, man. It's an honor. I'm a fan. I'll be watching.
Yes, sir.
I'll be watching.
Yes, sir. And we talked about this off camera, but one of the cool things about the show that I really love is the fact that, when you're playing, I didn't realize that Jasper played at O'Connell when I was at Gonzaga. And you just never know who's watching you, just like I was watching Phil Goss. You know what I mean? He had no idea I was watching him.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's this revolving door of talent in this area, man. And so it's really cool to get everybody on the show and collab, man. So first question we always ask, before we even get into that, why you call yourself the scientist?
Man, honestly, it's just for the culture. I call, getting reps and getting into the gym. We call it the lab. So I just try to come up with something cool, something for the culture that the kids can relate to. And I remember the first time I put it out, I probably at least got about 200 laughing emojis. So that's kind of the feedback I wanted. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to kind of show my personality into it as well. But yeah, I ain't a magician. I try to call myself a scientist, but yeah, that's just something I try to be cool, come up with.
All right, we're gonna dive into that a little bit later, man. So first thing we always ask everybody is handling success.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody's trying to be successful, and you got some guys that have been successful, right?
Yeah.
But maintaining that level is a different animal. You know what I mean? How do you help them with the consistency of staying successful?
Just trying to motivate the athlete to find his why. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has their why they're doing it, and just not getting complacent, right? You find your short-term goals and you attack it along with your long-term goals, and you attack it full speed. And then I also say, man, just follow. I tell kids this all the time: follow the blueprint. There's always somebody who's done it before you at a higher level, or the level you in, and you just follow the blueprint. Put your swag into it. And you just attack it and live with the results. You know what I'm saying? It's just success it just comes in different light. It just depends on what it is to you, though. You know what I'm saying? It could be some small term goals, some small wins, and some long term goals, some long wins too.
All right, cool, man. What do you say? Success leaves clues, right?
That's right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So let's go back to your playing days, man. Okay. Go back to Progressive Christian Academy. You played with Coach Van?
Yeah.
Yeah, talk about those days And who did you play AAU with?
So I went a little bit everywhere. I'm like the youngest today.
Okay.
I was trying to find my fit, and I was stubborn with finding my fit. This is an honest assessment too, though. Like that's why I got the relationship that I do got too, as well as far as in that limb, because I played for, Keith Stevens at triple threat. I played with Assault, I'm saying, with Curtis and all that. But I finished with Rob Jackson.
Okay.
But Rob was probably the one that, gave me the opportunity to be myself. And I was a stubborn basketball player to where, like, I was sound, but I just played off feel. And that could rub you the wrong. That could easily be a microwave guy. That could be a high maintenance guy. That could whatever that is. And I definitely wasn't efficient, so I definitely was trying to get them up. So I had to go to my fit, and so I finished with the Blue Devils. I think Rob Jackson was the head coach and Coach D-Bird.
Okay.
What D-Bird is that? I think he's at
Is he at Riverdale?
Yeah, I think Riverdale Wise. Wherever I think Lou was at.
Okay.
So the fact that they still coaching, and they coach me at 16 and 17.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This shows the longevity of what they got going on. I'm trying to do a little bit of the same. You know what I'm saying?
So tell me what worked for you at Progressive.
So Progressive, it's an inside joke. It's long gone now, so I can kind of tell all the secrets. We was what's the new school they call it now? Bishop Sycamore. So and shout out to Van and Progressive, but we would do an hour worth of school, right, brother? I swear to God. And we will train in the morning, train at lunch, train after school. I trained 3 times a day, 5 days a week, from 10th grade to 12th grade, and I got shocked. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. That period of my time frame of basketball, I probably just where I became like, I thought I was good. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it gave me like my swag. Van really gave me my swag to kind of be myself. He installed full blown confidence in me that nobody's ever did. So I, rest in peace. I think he passed away maybe like last year.
Yeah.
But I pay all homage to Van Whitfield. I ain't gonna tell him where I'd be playing wise if it wasn't for Van.
Okay.
Honestly.
All right, cool, man. So let's go to college, man. You started off at Tennessee Chattanooga?
Yeah, so I started off 08 to 10 in Tennessee Chattanooga.
What made you go there?
Man, so I just actually did my homework on it. So my head coach at Chattanooga is now at Central Arkansas.
Okay.
But he was just a cool dude, man. He was on my grandmother's plastic couch in Northeast. He was there 2 days a week. You know what I'm saying? Really building that rapport with me. He just won me over as a person.
Yeah.
And necessarily, I didn't even know if it fit basketball wise. I just wanted to play for. His name was John Schumer. So at the time, he was just consistent, man. He was in the hood with me. I lived in Benning Road, and he had a pocket of white Suburban on Benning Road, and that plastic be stuck to it. He wasn't used to that, you know. That plastic be stuck to the back of it. He's sweating hard. He was sweat rain. He was there 2 or 3 times a week, and so that just won me over, bro. And he gave me an opportunity to play right away. So college was a culture shock for me because my first 7 games was on ESPN, but it was against high majors. The year we went to the tournament, we started off 0-7.
Oh.
Literally, we played USC with Taj Gibson and
What's the other?
Romeo DeRozan.
Was Nick Young on that team?
Nick Young wasn't there yet.
Okay.
We played Missouri with Damari Curl. Who else we played? Memphis.
Okay.
That Tyreek Evans and my man with the headband. I was. Yeah, my first game was against Bobby Mays, a big homie, somebody I looked up to growing up. We still talk about it to this day because he teased me because my first possession is at Tennessee. I'm fresh from Progressive Christian Academy. I mean, the Pat Sumner Arena is 11,000 people in there. And as soon as I subbed in, I threw the ball to my father. So they set me, bro. They set me up when they subbed in. Tennessee pressed. They was in that 1-2 diamond like it was 9 and under. So Wayne Chisholm on the front. Tyler Smith. So as soon as I subbed in, I'm coming in on the press break. Man, they nailed me in that corner. Man, I had that thing all the way back here, threw it all the way to my father, all the way like in the 6th row. And I was scared. And Bobby knew I was scared, so he's terrible. So I tease him to this day as a grown man. He knew I was scared. He plucked me.
I
half
was
court.
playing D.
Nah, but that's somebody you play against all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I knew he played D, but you know we done seen each other. We sparred. We play pickup every day. You know what I'm saying? At the master, like he's familiar with my game. You know what I'm saying? So he definitely set on my right. I try to right to left the piss out of him. And he just put his hand right here, sat right there, but he go lay it up, smack me on the butt, and then that was perfect for me. That was my first 2 plays of college basketball.
Welcome.
Hail Murray fly route to the bleachers off the press, and then Bobby plucks my right to left, and then all my jitters kind of went away. But that was a culture shock.
Yeah.
You know, Progressive had 100 kids total.
Yeah.
So I was sitting in the past summer arena and see 13,000. I'm like, oh, and they do their homework on you. They was calling out my GPA.
Hopefully it was high.
Man, freshman year, man, I was barely making it. They knew it too. That's why I thought that was funny. But they had me nervous, man. And that's the year Steph Curry was Steph Curry. So my senior year, Steph went to the Sweet 16, right in high school. When I'm coming in, he's Steph. Like,
and y'all played against him?
Twice. That's Southern Conference.
Oh, that's right.
So he probably had a total of 65 points on me in 2 games. Not exaggeration though, that's weird. But I had a solid game. My little 12-4 to his 33-9 was okay with me because I just watched him torch everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to have a challenge. But where he was so dynamic was, so like we played Kimba and all that, but Kimba was just foot speed, right?
Right.
When I played Steph, his IQ and moving off the ball was so elite. I'm talking about like when you relax is when he, you know. So what they teach you? You're a point guard. Your point guard pass into the wing. They teach you what? Jump to the ball. You know, you jump to the ball and take your eye off him. If you look back, you're gonna be looking around, see where he at. He gonna be, you know what I'm saying, doing that. So he was. I learned how to move from the ball from him cooking me.
Wow.
Was moving on the ball. So never I seen the defender just peek his eye at the ball. I take off, boom. And that was just something I picked up from college, college on out. But yeah, that was that experience. I mean, we got a ring in Steph prime. So we won the Southern Conference that year, his senior year.
Okay.
Got lucky because you ever heard of a guy named Andrew Gullock? Went to college at Charleston. Then you play at Niagara? Man, do you remember playing? Was Austin Cooley at Niagara when you was at Niagara?
I was.
So he was gone. So we didn't play. I thought I had a real story. I thought I played against you in college, man. I thought I was gonna tell you that. And I said I would have remembered. But I remember that game vividly because Cooley was from the area, and we played on the.
It was a bracket buster.
Was it bracket buster?
I might have been coaching around that time.
That was the Dr. Pepper Classic. It was at Chattanooga.
Oh no, I wasn't there.
Yeah, it was at Chattanooga. Yeah,
so you was there when Bilal, Ben, Tyrone Lewis. Yeah, I was gone.
Yeah, because I thought I was gonna talk some trash to you because we won that game. That's my love language. If I ain't talking no shit to you, then I don't mess with you. You know what I'm saying? That's just the love language. Like I was watching Chris episode because Chris Wright was a guy that around the same age. A guy that we was great friends going on. He was a guy that we was friends, right? Cause we started off 900 Jabbo Kennan, him and my father coaches. Then his father goes make his own team. But we still friends. But he was a bad dude at 10. Like he was Euroing. Like at 10, like seriously, he was strong as an ox. Like you know what I mean. So, but we was friends. So I used to always. You can ask me this too. I used to always go to his house on Saturday because I was the DC kid, spend out of your house. You know all the early kids out. I'd go over his house on Saturdays just to see what he do. And it was good as advertised. Whatever you see on TV, wake up at 7 in the morning, go jog. I'm like, ooh, I ain't even doing that yet. I'm like, but I really watch. He the part I never even said that to us to this day. But he was like one of those guys that I really watch and act like I wasn't watching. Then I go home and try and put it together. Okay, he woke up at 7. I'm gonna at least do 9:30. I'll get the same result you get at 7. I'm gonna get at 9. That was my mindset back then. Whatever the result I was at 7:30, I was gonna get at 9:30. But I piggyback from it. That's why I tell them youngest now, man, be a thief. Like, go watch guys and learn from your peers. Learn from guys that's older. You can learn from everybody, man. That's what I try to kind of install into them kids is the IQ part. Like what I'm saying. But yeah, but I definitely finished that. I started at Chattanooga and finished that and transferred to Hampton.
Yeah.
that's a different dynamic from the HBCUs to that's the the HBCU basketball game is a fashion show. You know, in the other schools with Chattanooga, they were shirts off, painted. I had a whole section of 2,000 people. I had dreads at the time, so the kids would put Bob Marley hats on and paint their bodies with the tattoos I had. And just the school spirit was just night and day though.
You had one of them Jesus moments?
What's that? Oh man, come on, man. Yeah, I'm down south. Shuttlesworth for sure. That's how I got there. My visit there, they was playing Tennessee. So you could tell the environment. A mid-major playing a high major, you know what the environment is. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Jesus. For
y'all
sure.
gotta watch our
do your homework.
Our promo to catch what we meant right there.
Do your homework. Yes, man. I feel like every African American male experienced that in college because we accessible now, and and we wasn't accessible, and you know what I'm saying. And they're not used to it at that time. It's probably different times now, but I know when I was in school, it was active.
So from Chattanooga, and then at Hampton, what you would say what you remember was like your best or your worst game?
Man, I got it's funny. I can remember all my best games, and I can't remember none of the worst games. That's the type of player I was too, though. Seriously, I'm really trying to figure out the worst. Oh, I got one. I would say my best game was Missouri, at Missouri, against Damari Carroll. What's the other guy?
Fast dude, Presley.
Yes, Presley. I couldn't do nothing with him. Even foot speed was too great. But that was one of my better games in college. I think it was like 22-4. And the reason why I say one of the better games because I kind of rebounded, assists. I kind of did everything else. But my worst game will probably be probably my first year in the Southern Conference tournament. No, I go Tennessee. Okay. I threw a Hail Mary 60 yards.
Yeah.
I got plucked half court, and then I learned to never wear white tights ever again because I almost shitted on myself. I was scared. I was scared. I say, so I'm gonna be a black tight guy. That's the three things I love. That's definitely that's my best and worst games. Right there. Missouri and Tennessee.
So a lot of times when we talk to the guests, and then throughout their journey, some people had times where they just kind of lost the love for the game. Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, it did. I would probably say maybe like 2017, 18 when I was kind of trying to figure out life. I probably had my last job was in Mexico. I played in the Ciba Copa, and it was two situations. Obviously it was a basketball situation, but that was a big old fight down there that scared me. So we lost the game, and our team was sponsored by the cartel. So that's a whole different. And I watched all the movies, you know what I'm saying. So I watched. So I did my homework on the cartel. So I was on my P's and Q's. I did. But when I was living in LA, and I was just trying to figure out life, bro. And I can honestly probably say Kevin and Tony probably helped me shape me in that way because I was living in LA trying to figure it out. And he said, bro, just come home and coach my AAU program. And I literally flew home in 2-3 weeks and kind of developed an identity through there because I started training in LA.
Okay.
I probably had about 3 or 4 clients, and it just made sense to do it with my name ring bells at. So I thought to flow back home, but I didn't think about coaching yet. So when Kevin kind of gave me that, basically gave me that option to say if you want to coach or not, I thought it was gonna be a great idea. It could have been a fresh start for me. I feel like it was. I wouldn't be a guy that you would say would turn into a typical coach as far as me as the player that I was, as far as like being like high maintenance. And that's probably why I vibe with these kids now because I can understand them. I mean, I agree with it. I just kind of can see, where they're coming from in certain aspects. And that just helped me develop an identity. But I definitely didn't have a love for the game no more. I was one of those guys. I was going overseas for $2,500, $3,000. You know, that ain't no money. You could develop that type of revenue here.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Instead of going halfway across the world. And you know, I look sweet on Instagram. I was in Spain. I was in Barcelona. I went through all 3 cities of Spain as far as like Barcelona, Madrid, and I was in another city called Almanza, Spain. So it was a cool experience as far as that, but it definitely made me have a realization of what I need to be doing here on earth. Because if I'm, you know, I'm a Christian guy, so if I'm putting in the work and time and doing everything right and it's not getting the results, I just don't believe in staying. I mean, that's not what I'm called to do, and I don't believe in staying stagnant. So I was just trying to develop an identity and find one. I wasn't really sure. I was in LA modeling, acting school. I was doing it all, man, trying to find out, you know, what's what.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then I realized what my calling was. It wasn't necessarily coaching, just was helping people. Helping people get put in positions to be successful. And I reap the benefits from that, of, you know, just being a helping hand to others, no matter if it's basketball related, because I was a case manager, you know, prior to all that. When I, you know, trying to stop, you know, when I fell out of love with basketball, trying to get a regular job. And so when I started helping kids in general, that kind of gave me a little purpose. Yeah. And so and I really was helping kids in real life, not anything skill related. You know, we was just helping them try to be successful and decent humans. And so that kind of stuck with me. Mm-hmm. And so I try to bring that dynamic in coaching, just being a human, just building the rapport. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, and that makes it easier to even hold somebody accountable. Like, you know, especially a kid these days, if they don't know you, they ain't gonna get the results you're looking for a kid, you know, from a kid perspective. So you gotta kind of, you know, be rapport based. Mm-hmm. So that kind of helped me out for a little bit as well.
Okay. So we always ask this, so we're gonna give you a scenario.
Okay.
Let's say it's 12 seconds on the clock.
Okay.
Down 1, you need a bucket. What's your go-to move?
Let me tell you how terrible I am. What you're supposed to do is, you know, get something going to the rim, trying to get fouled. You know what I'm saying? Getting a high percentage shot. But what I would have probably done.
Oh shit.
And I got a maybe almost double-digit buzzer beaters or game winners under my belt. But I'm a risk taker for sure. No matter, I'm down 1, down 2, I'm shooting the T-Mac 3, the sail the drive, you just raise up, and I can kind of do that in any perspective, through the legs, you know, behind the back. That's any move setup. And so I kind of mastered that early, along with I was good in the P&R as well. Before it was popular to be good in the P&R. I learned how to read the tag at 13. You know what I'm saying? So if I'll just read the tag. If the tag stay, the roller will be open. If the tag come tag the roller, then that opposite. Whatever part of the tag is coming from, then that opposite shooter gonna be open. And then, you know, if the drop coverage, I'm floating pool. Like that made me say cut off half of my moves. And then I could take some ill-advised ones, the ones that, you know what I mean? That's why I try to milk the game a little bit, just think it a little bit. Like I heard Lump say about the 6 points a quarter. That was a real thing. You can't tell me I wasn't getting 6 points a quarter. Once I figure out how to get 6 points a quarter. You know what I'm saying? Like, that sounds cliche, because I heard him say it. I said, we all built from the same cloth. Like, real, like, you know what I'm saying? We was taught the same way. Like, that 6 points a quarter was real. And that's how I was catfishing how to be a point guard. Like, because I played with talent. Like, I played with Gus Gilchrist, where he was a horse where you could throw it into and automatic too, but he was also a lob threat. So I was throwing lobs off the P&R, looking like I knew what I was doing early. You know what I'm saying? And that's the nature of the game. That's the last action. That's the main action at the highest level. So it was, you know, I wish I would have known how important that was. I just learned that because my father was a basketball, Jim Redden. He kind of put that into me, installed into me. You know, he coached. You know, I'm going to shout him out a little bit. He got 3 city titles. He loved to pop it. He got 3 city titles at Anacostia. You know what I'm saying?
Is that when
Bogans and all? Yeah, I was the water boy. You know what I mean? Talking trash. That's why, you know, it's funny. It's funny how things just kind of play out with how life just works. It come full circle, and that's why you gotta kind of be, you know, just good people. And everybody that was with my past or had something to do with my past has something to do with helping me in the future.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I teach kids now just to try to be a decent human being.
It's crazy, man. When you talk about the pick and roll, so we didn't deal with the pick and roll till we got to college, right? And so that was something we had to navigate and learn. And I probably didn't get really good at it until I got overseas. But funny story, remember 5-star camp?
Mm-hmm.
So championship game, I'm playing against Chris Paul.
Okay.
When we talk about masters of that pick and roll, and you know, like I understood, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go over top. And like whatever way I decided to do it, he had a counter for it, and like I go under, he hit the three. He was putting me in the box, and I was like, what is he doing? You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't used to guarding or anything, and then all of a sudden the lob.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like he really mastered that game.
Man, you know he mastered. He was throwing fake bounce passes to the roller on a live dribble. What is going on? And like really manipulating the defense with his eyes, really looking at it. He would fake a bounce pass.
Yeah.
And the whole defense would rotate. And once I saw him doing that, I said, oh, yeah, he got it down pat. And that's all. I think that's how you. I mean, I never made it to the NBA, but I look like they only getting guys with an identity.
Yeah.
That seemed like the. Guys that kind of know what he is already. You get what I'm saying? So I always tell them, man, develop an identity and try to master something and then be just fairly, be good at other things and work on the weaknesses. But have something that you can hang your hat on.
Yeah, that's what our college coach used to say, hey, man, you want to make it to the league, you got to be great at something.
Something. You got to master something.
Yeah, and I was just good at things. So you see, I wasn't in the league.
They flying at that spot right there. We wasn't flying like that.
Yeah.
At the dot, we weren't coming off the PNR and we can put it behind the head. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say the evolution of basketball. I disrespect all the game all the time. Man. I always say the guys now is better than the guys back then. I don't care what it is.
Well, we're gonna see when we ask the questions. We're gonna see.
I'm gonna be disrespectful. You're gonna hate that I'm a head coach, that I'm how entitled into basketball, and you're gonna hate my answers because I'm joking, but I'm serious. But that's just the evolution of it. They faster, stronger, shoot better, dribble better. What you was here before me. Okay, I get it. Experience is your best teacher, but that's just everything. That's why the kids are better now, just off the evolution of it. Like when I was 14, and I'm looking at a 14-year-old kid now. Now I understood how to play, but
that don't account for nothing to you.
Not when they that skilled.
Really?
Nah.
All right.
Nah, because now I'm talking to a little junk, but you gotta actually know how to play, but. Man, skills pay the bills. You watching Anthony Edwards every time he's on an angle, shoot it off the glass at 22. Like every time he has an angle, he's Timmy D in it. Like they just showing you the evolution of just the game where the only person that did it was Tim Duncan, right? And now a guy who's shooting 18 shots a game is every time he has an angle, he's off the window.
So you don't think Westbrook used to do that back in the day?
Westbrook did it too.
Okay.
For sure. Westbrook did it. He kind of played it out because he got too many bad misses on that.
Yeah.
But so it's not put on the pedestal because you could put up a whole video of him just hitting the backboard on it. But that's still a testament to his skill though.
Yeah. So let's get into coaching real quick. Let's talk about something that you have learned from coaching. Obviously, you coached in high school and you coached at AAU. What's some of the things you have learned from being a coach?
That coaching is not just X's and O's. You could be a great X and O guy and still be a bad leader and a bad coach. And coaching is really about just being the ultimate elite leader, right? Can you bring 12 guys together and they literally buy into everything you're saying, no matter if it's jumping off a cliff, right? You know what I'm saying? That's just honor. That's a good leader. So coaching is your leadership qualities have to be intact, and it's not just X and O's. It's player management. It's knowing your players. It's the whole nine that kind of go into it. What I kind of picked up the most was the lingo. So I could be in those rooms. You know what I'm saying? I can't be. If they call him the wing, the slot, I need to call it the slot. You know what I mean? If it's a DHO, it's a zoom. It's a zoom now. Like you know what I'm saying? I'm just learning how they speak at the highest level. And just being a student. just trying to humble myself to be able to lead and follow.
Nice. Now, have you head coach and assistant coach?
So this is honestly gonna be my first gig head coaching.
Yeah,
So
we're
I'm
gonna
excited.
jump into that.
So I'm excited to kind of show what I did learn and what I did can I display and what kind of product I could put on the floor. And I know guys seeing me sign high level guys, you know what I'm saying, guys that's used to maybe scoring or having the ball, but you know what I'm saying. I want to show the coaching dynamic of getting guys to buy in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, and that takes a great leader. And I just some qualities I want to kind of put on display and it's a test for myself too, though, because I came in here in the coaching aspect as a developer.
Yeah.
I wanted to, keep my brand. I want to, maybe try to join the NBA's development team, like the Rico Hines and the Chris Johnsons and the Phil Handys, the guys I kind of do my homework on. That's basically what it's just more than just knowing X's and O's and knowing schemes and strategies and schemes. So it's more to it, and you can see that heavily about a guy that know what he's doing. X's and O's, but he's not in tune with his guys. He won't be able to lead his guys, and so that's kind of the biggest thing I probably picked up from coaching is just just leadership qualities. Being able to listen as well. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to have some guys that's going to assist you, and you can't be stubborn on what you think is the correct way. I want to hear from all sides, and then we collectively as a group see what we can do to make some adjustments. So I'm definitely excited to kind of show that aspect to the game that I could bring.
Okay. So break down we would say your training philosophy, because you have the training where it's the skill development where you're trying to develop the player, but then at the same time it's kind of like game related, game situational thing that you want to train them as well. So
I mean, that's a real question because I came in. So first, I would say is honestly about the trainer's gym space, the developability. Because now, like when I was coaching high school, I had a gym 5 days a week, and I could train organically like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what kind of separated me at first. Like you wouldn't click on my story and see 10 guys in there. You know what I'm saying? You'll see one. You'll see maximum 3, and they all getting that like this is attention to detail of what they need. Because I always think I'm being a hypocrite when I have 10 guys in here, right? And one is a 7th grade middle school, and one is a 9th grade in high school, and it's like he's not going to need what he's going to need.
Yeah.
So that's just the trend, and I'd be transparent with my parents about situations and stuff like that too, because when you have that gym space, now you can train organically, and it's like having a classroom full of students, and 2 of your students might need tutoring.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So you got to put that aside of time for them guys to tutor. It's the same thing with training. So that's the first space, organic. But then you try to. What I try to how I break it down is just training efficiently. So I will go to a game and see what they're doing in the games, and then I'll rep what I see, how they're supposed to be in the game, and we'll rep that. I think that's how organically how it's supposed to be done. Yeah. But sometimes things is just unfortunate, and every trainer don't have a gym, and sometimes you gotta kind of make it happen. And I was able to learn from other trainers to how. Now, well, if I have a gym setting where it's 10 different clients, right? And I was able to do my homework on how to train where a guy won't be just sitting there holding the ball while another guy's doing his rep. It'll be a constant, training to where, rep here for that guy, rep here for that guy, rep it, and it's going, and going continuously, and nobody just kind of just sitting there with the ball on the side. So I've learned how to train like that as well. But organically, I think everybody needs something different, and that's how you need to train them what their needs are. And I just think it's got to have some purpose to the training. Yeah. Like I catch myself adjusting to the culture, and it takes my purpose out of it, right? Because I know what they like. So you have to be disciplined of being a businessman and really developing, because you have to. Nothing in life is 100. You got to have a fine balance. I want to be able to feed my son too. Doing this, but I still have to get results, from you. So I'll be organically and honest about how we can get those things done and what kind of results, they want to see.
That's crazy you say that. So, I've done some training, probably I've kind of phased out of it a little bit, but when I got like 4 kids and under, I can really focus on certain things, right? But once I get 5, 6, 7, 8, I start trying to put team concepts in. Meaning like, all right, I have a guy at the top of the key and y'all need to play, set a ball screen, right? I mean, not a ball screen, just like a down screen, right?
Yeah.
Read it, right? We got a defender right here, read it. Maybe sometimes you curl, maybe sometimes you fade, and I'll put the defense in a scenario and be like, you can't switch.
Yeah.
Right? So now it's just more team concept and like IQ piece.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's really hard to, like you say, you don't want a kid just sitting around.
Yeah.
You know
that's great training, bro, because, at the end of the day, like I was saying, nothing is 100%.
Right.
So, everything has to have, a fine balance to it. So now you go from a skill set point of it, and then now you literally teaching feel for the game. Like, right? So now he's going to get a pin down, and in the game, he's going to get a pin down, right? And so now he don't rep that so many times, he'll have the read and react to it. That's all bad. The defender going to tell you what to do. And I learned that late. I was a premeditated guy. Okay, I'm going to come down here. I'm going to tween, step back. No matter what the defense is doing, this is what I'm doing. right? So, and then I got older, and I was settling it down. I was like, he going to actually tell me exactly what I need to do. I just kind of read him. And I try to develop purpose to the training as far as like now I give him things to look at. So now with a defender, I always teach my attack top side. So whatever foot is out, that's the foot you attack because he can open his shoulders up. You know what I'm saying? And now we teaching, we call it, our lingo, we call it the swim. You notice how the guys drive now?
Oh my God.
So I made an identity of training like that because I watch every NBA guy drive just like that relentlessly. And it's an offensive foul and when we played, but we was allowed the hand check too. You get what I'm saying? So they are so in advantage. I can't touch you and you taking my hands off me, getting an advantage. So I wish I would have had that in my game. I didn't have that. I saw that and picked that up and was like, that's it right there. That's like nobody can guard nobody.
So look, funny thing, right? I seen that you used to train Calvin.
Who?
Anthony Calvin.
Yep.
All right. So when he was with us with DC Thunder.
Okay.
So I used to have him in the gym. And every time I used to get close to him, he started doing this stuff. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? He was like, I'm practicing for the game. I said, dog, stop doing that.
Yes.
And it's so common now, but I just remember the first time he was doing it, I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
I got a funny story like that. The kid I posted yesterday, his name Dale Jones. I had him since he was in the 7th grade, right?
Yeah.
This is when I was moving too fast on teaching. So I was trying to teach him that in the 8th grade. And so we repped it. So he reclassed, and then we was doing the same thing, training 3 times a day. You know what I'm saying? So now he was my like real lab rat. I do something with him, and I'm like, oh no, that was stupid. That's too many dribbles. He can't go to nobody's program and dribble this 8 times. Like, you know what I'm saying? Race, don't do that, Dale. This is what we do. Boom, boom. Okay, like I taught myself what was purpose. You know what I'm saying? So he literally was the lab rat. So I remember teaching him, if somebody touch you, bro, get him off you and force him to touch. I would try to teach him that. And man, he looked so stupid. I'm talking about full court. He'll tell you this to this day. Full court, somebody touch him, he had a seizure. Tony say, bro, what the hell are you doing? Like, I learned that was jazz. I looked down, who's he pointing at? But I realized that made me say, that was stupid. You gotta have a purpose. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to teach what I saw with no purpose. You know what I mean? That's what I challenge the trainers to do now. Is just to have some purpose to your training. You know what I'm saying? And I'm real transparent and honest, brother, because I'm trying to elevate to the highest level. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I learn. I'm in the biggest stage of learning right now. You gonna tell me something that's something I can grasp from, and I take it and use for the rest of my life at 35. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So. That's for you got the same kind of story I had. When the dude and my man threw me on the bus, I said, I ain't teach you that. I got a video on my phone, him doing like this. But now to your point, but you can't touch nobody. They done mastered it now, and so that's all you got to just try to. Like I tell them now, whenever you see, put some teaching to your some purpose to your driving. If you drive and you see one shoulder, right, and you just see one of his shoulders, then you be relentless and be relentless. Boom, boom, boom. That give you 2 more crab jiggles to it. Now if you see 2, count and go the other way. That's your looks. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to teach how to drive. Well, ain't nobody teaches how to drive.
Yeah. Hanif did. He used to tell me, man, if the shoulder's even, you leave him.
That's real.
Right.
But we talking guru. You know what I'm saying? Keith Williams had me west side from one wing to one wing. He gave me he taught me how to create space. I worked out with Keith Williams for about 2-3 years, and you couldn't get near me. I'm talking about I would step back and this way, that way, that way. But at first, he gave purpose to it. He really taught it. While everybody's doing it, he gave you why you do it. Yeah. And so whenever I seen, and I was really, he shouldn't have never put this in my bag. So whenever he say your defender will lean, that's your cue, that's your look. So if you driving hard and you see him leaning towards whatever direction, that's your cue to do it, man. You had to lean just a little bit, and I step you right on back, having you contest it. Everything, but all jokes aside, I definitely paid homage to guys like I did a session with Hanif and I almost threw up. But Keith Williams, Shaq was OG. Shaq was training when I was a player. You know what I'm saying? So you take your hat and you pay homage to those guys. It's a blueprint, like I said, if guys have done it before you. Now you just put your swag to it and see what your ceiling is with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So when you go to the games and you assessing, like how you assess your players for like their strengths and their weaknesses?
I mean, the strengths and weaknesses on the skill set part, that's just we all basketball players. We got eyes. You can see, who's good, who's not. What's the strengths and weaknesses. But now, from a coach's lens, I'm looking at the typical cliche coach answers that you used to hate. Body language. I'm a response type of guy. Like, how's your response? When something goes in your favor, what's your response? It's gonna be times you're gonna be successful, or you gonna get too high on the success, and there'll be times when you're your lows, and you beat yourself about your lows. So me personally, I'm cliche. So say if I was recruiting with a coach's lens, I'm definitely looking at everything outside of scoring the basketball, and how can you impact the game in other ways, because at the end of the day, ain't too many of us going to the highest level in the league to score.
Yeah,
they're not even they ain't even the last 20 points per game draft pick. You gotta really do some hunting.
The dude from Tennessee, but he went late.
The Dar. He averaged about what, 20, 18?
Close. He was like
close
18 and 20.
Yeah, that's close enough. But he got an identity.
He got drafted late. To your point.
Yeah, but he has an identity too. Yeah. But if he was just a guy that was scoring,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now he has an identity to space the floor. So now JJ is using him to space the floor. In Tennessee, he was step back in, punch dribble, get to the rim, where he's not coming off pin downs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you run out, going right around you, boom. If you don't, you hands down, I'm shooting. 2-3 options. And then he gonna make $150 million with those 3 options. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I be telling you, watch. The NIL messed the game because they want the money, but it's like, go with a fit because you're gonna get more money if you bump.
Yeah.
Then to just try to chase the money because they're going to get rid of you after a while if you don't produce. It's a production base, especially if I'm going to give you $100,000 and you AP'd and chain on, and I need some production. Yeah. And as soon as you're done, I'm going to go get the next one. You know what I'm saying? So that's just, you just can't lose the sense of that part of the game. You know?
So now, let's stay with the coach's lens, right?
Okay.
So what would be your strategy how you're going to motivate your players and get them to trust and buy into what you're doing with your organization?
That's for me personally, like I told you earlier, just rapport based. I'm a decent human. You get what I'm saying? Before I do any job, I'm kind of dial into the person. You know what I'm saying? Because actually, I believe that's how you get a smoother results. That you get results. If I get to know you and build a rapport to you to where it can be a trust that we don't, crack the joke and we see the human side of each other more than also just me being a coach in basketball. Like, them kids see me as humans first. Yeah. you know what I mean, a good dude first, and then I can grow into what kind of coach I am, and you know what I'm saying, get better as a trainer or a coach. So I just think just being a good dude, if you could be loved and respect, that's a hard thing. You know what I'm saying? Usually when somebody respect you, they don't love them. If that makes sense. So if that's a skill that you can get people to love and respect you, you know, that kind of makes things a little easier for you. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I attack things. I attack as a human. You're gonna mess with me as a human before you tell me how good of a coach or how bad of a coach I am. So you know, I think that's the part of leadership, you know, qualities I was telling you about, just like head coaching. Like even with the team that started up, like, and I'm not tooting their own horn or my own horn, or nobody's horn, but I didn't nobody reached out to nobody. It was like organically, you coach, I want to play for you. You know what I'm saying? Or no matter what the dynamic is of like what our relationship was 20 years ago and all this, it started. That's the foundation of it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just being a decent human. So that's what I always try to take that part into life. Like just because we have a profession or a title behind it, I try to be a good person with that title too, though. So yeah, that kind of helps.
All right, I feel that. All right, man. We gonna call this segment "Player Breakdown," man. So what we gonna do? I want you to. Right. I'm gonna name a player. I want you to tell me his strengths, weaknesses, and intangibles.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna start at the NBA level.
Okay.
See if you know this guy. Jonathan Kuminga. Kuminga, yeah. Let's talk about his strengths, weaknesses, and the intangibles.
Strengths is he can, you know, he's a $1 million athlete. He got the stuff that, you know, you necessarily can't teach. Just the physical attributes. You know, he's a paint toucher. You know, he's always putting pressure at the rim. So and the jump shot is developing. You know what I'm saying? That's the part that's going to pay him the most if he can keep the spacing on the floor. I think I would have to go. Weaknesses is the part of the spacing. You can help off of him. You can, you know what I'm saying? You can leave him. You know, but it's ways to get past that by being a cutter. You know, just finding other ways to not just, you know, find a space to bet. You don't have to always space the court with just shooting. You know what I'm saying? If you watch the NBA, their worst shooter is always the screener. That's their way of hiding. Like he'll put him in the corner and he's a cutter. You know what I'm saying? That's little things I was picking up on as well. So instead of what we say, intangibles. You know, he's capable of being an 8 rebound guy. He's capable of eating glass and being a lockdown defender. You know, that's just about the switch. If he gonna flip that switch, but you know, he has the tools to definitely be guarding the best player everywhere, every night. You know what I'm saying? Eat some glass, get you 7 to 8 rebounds, and get you, 15, 16 to 18 points, and he'll be a $150 million guy for the rest of his life if he just do those 2-3 things.
All right, that's good, man. That's good, man. So let's bring it down to college, man. I'm front office, man. You a scout.
Okay.
Have you seen the kid from BYU play, Igor? No, you have not. Okay. Let's go Dylan Hopper.
I love Dylan Hopper.
Yeah, let's give me.
Hopper. If I'm an NBA scout,
yeah, I'm a front office, and you got to report.
I'm a big fan of Dylan Hopper simply because he still has that edge to him, also with the physical attributes of being a 6'4" point guard, being 220, still being able to fly up and down the air and look like a franchise point guard. You will give him the keys to have a show. Like the Wizards drafting him, I feel like he'll have a chance to be a franchise point guard because he's a elite passer out of the pit now. He's extremely has an extremely high IQ of just how to play the game and the pace. Right now, you watching them. If you watch the last game where I think they was played. I know Ace Bailey had a great one, but he was high volume at that point guard spot. He had about 19 shots, and you got to think at the next level. You know, you got to kind of mix up just getting guys involved. You get what I'm saying? Until I find that fine balance of being able to get guys involved and, putting pressure on defense and scoring. I think defensively, what I'm going to say his intangibles is he's a competitor. So he's not a slouch on the opposite end. He keeps guys in front of him just because of his competitive nature, not because he's a lockdown defender. He don't want to be embarrassed. So that's a good tool to have. The weaknesses I would say right now is just, just being locked in with being a point guard. And that don't necessarily mean, 29 and 20 attempts, where you can just try to play the game a little bit more efficiently, and getting guys more involved consistently and mastering that. Your franchise point guard.
Okay. All right, man. We're gonna break it down to high school, man. Hey, nobody get offended when I bring this name out. All right.
All right.
Let's bring out Cam going to Michigan State.
Yes, my guy.
Yeah, let's talk about.
I had the opportunity of seeing Cam because we used to play pickup in Largo. Just all the guys that around our age, around our peer age group that played overseas or college basketball, we played pickup at Largo, and obviously Cam is Largo bred. He was a jit running around in there 9, working on his game. You know what I'm saying? Really just putting in the right habits. He was developing good habits early at a young age. And the positive thing, I love Cam. That's really my guy. And he mastered the intangibles. And so just because he's not shooting step back threes, he makes an impact on winning, though. You get what I'm saying? And he makes an impact on winning at the highest level. And we'll have a chance to make it at the highest level. Because I think Izzo's going to be a great spot for him to fit some grit and grind guys that's going, he's going to be on the glass. He's going to keep getting better. I would say weaknesses is just trying to continue to just stack good days and get your jump shot reps in and keep trying to space the floor and just keep getting better at something, right? Because I think he's mastered the intangible, like a Cooper Flag has mastered the intangibles of the game, right? Outside of just giving him the ball and getting out the way, right? So I think the fact that he's mastered that first, instead of scoring first, he's going to be a millionaire.
Hey, man, that's great breakdowns, man. I like that. Y'all, hopefully y'all front office guys see that, man. So, man, let's jump into. We talked a little bit about training culture, right? But let's talk about what do you feel training culture needs? Like it gets a bad rap from time to time. What do you think can improve in that aspect?
I like the one thing you guys said on the previous show about the credential aspect of it.
Oh yeah,
that was cranking because let me tell you why you can't take a kid where you've never been. So it's just like, how can you give me the proper information and stuff that I need if you never experienced it? So like for example, every guy that trained with me that has a chance to maybe make 7 figures, I'm going on my 7-figure guys. I'm contacting my NBA contacts. Take a look at them. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom. I'm giving you his number. Give him some insight on. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom. And that's so that kid has I can't take him. I can't give him. I give him my knowledge of what I say and studied. But the experience is the best teacher. So if a guy that went through it, you get what I'm saying? I think that's where it kind of matters. That's develops purpose to the training. So I'm a fan of the credential thing. And then like I was saying, just try to teach these kids efficient basketball. And sometimes I get hypocritical on it because that's just a part of training that I'm just kind of just trying out. I'm adding layers on top of layers on top of layers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I might do and it's just for a ball handling and shooting skill set, I might do the 8 count into a midi. And damn well you're not going to nobody's system and dribble this joint 8 times to get to the midi. And so I would have an explanation of why we're doing it too, though, so they won't get a false hope or thinking they can do that. I'm doing this because I'm just layering the ball handling segment and the mid-range segment together. You get what I'm saying? So we just a layer. We go a 6 count into it. Then we go an 8 count into it. Then we go to threes. And obviously you want to take 10 dribbles into a 3. You know what I mean? But it's just different aspects of training. Everybody thinks it's one way. Just like you said, the team concept, right? That's developing field. You get what I mean? Just like some people might hate the tennis ball with the, I was hating on that when I first came in. I was one of those haters. What do you need tennis ball for? And I got some, but it does have a purpose. It serves a purpose. Now you obviously don't get too dialed in with it. Right. You know what I mean? But all of the aspects of training serves a purpose. It's about the teacher finding the right balance. You know what I'm saying? To teach it.
Do you ever feel like when you get 10 guys or 12 guys, do you ever feel like, man, I need another guy in there with me so we can do more? Or
So honestly, look, what I was saying about the kids explaining that it's a blueprint to everything that's being done. So now you go look at the highest levels of trainers. What do they have? They have assistants.
Yeah.
They have, and I'm saying not assistants, but like a guy's assisting them.
Yes.
They have a rebounder, a guy playing maybe dummy defense. You know what I'm saying? A guy. So now when I get to those, that's the first thing that people notice when they see my training is that it looked like, and that's how I was able to skip layers of getting pros earlier than maybe I should have got. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, because it looked like what they saw, and that's what you do as somebody that's learning. You get what I'm saying? You go look at how it's done at the highest level, and then you kind of, put your swag into it, and just learn and keep diving into, how you find your niche into it and how to teach it. Like the kids taught me how to teach. Yeah. When I first started, I remember I used to tell somebody, give you instruction maybe twice. Third, and if you don't know how to do it that third time, like, well, he's all right. I'm not a magician. Like, I don't know what else to tell. You know what I mean? I said the same thing 3 times. I don't get it. But they taught me how to teach. So now when you don't get it this 5th time, I'm gonna know how to explain it to you the 6th time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? From a different dynamic. But like honestly though, I really came in and I don't know what else you want me to do, champ. Like, you know what I mean? Rocket science is like, but that's how you have to be taught. Everybody's learn different.
Kudos to you though, because that's that has to do with learning how to communicate, on different levels. Because like you see it not even just in basketball, in general. You know what I mean? Like you have to, each person that you deal with, you have to deliver a message a different way for them to understand what you're saying. You know what I mean? Like some people you could just talk to them straight and it's cool. Some people you might have to water it down so they don't get offended. Then some people, like y'all can yell at each other and then the next day, y'all cool. You know what I mean? So like understanding that and then figuring out what's the best solution to it. So that shows your growth and maturity.
But this is about just learning people. Yes. I feel like we was easier to coach. We were coachable. Yeah. We respected every coach.
We had consequences though.
Yeah, we had consequences.
Maybe not that progressive.
They weren't really necessarily consequences. But one thing I would say about these, they don't. And I love this generation. They just don't take. They take coaching personal. Like if I'm coaching you, back when we was playing, if you coach and the coach coaching you, think he messed with you. Because if you don't say nothing to me, that's when I'm a little nervous. Yeah. As a player, from a player-coach dynamic. You know what I'm saying? But it's the opposite here. They take coaching so personal. And they don't, it's hard to really be, I still do it regardless because that's just who I am, but it's hard to, hold kids accountable at an elite level, at the level they're trying to get to. Yeah. Because they just are so entitled. And you can't go up so crazy because they leave. You know what I'm saying? But that's not that don't hold leverage to me no more.
So I guess it's hard for them to take constructive criticism.
Yeah, because they
got so many options.
There's so many options.
Yeah.
So if I ask you something, bro, and you tell me no, I'm gonna go ahead, ready. What about you? you got 40 minutes for me? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm gonna take the 40. Yeah. So it's just that dynamic. That's why I laugh because they just go to team and team. I literally did the same thing. That's why I feel like I was like I said, the blueprint for the youngins.
So how you think that social media how does it help and hurt the basketball community? Because like you said, if I don't like what's going on, I see, man, I look on here and I see this coach being this way with one of my guys, man, I'm coming over there with them.
It's pros and cons. To everything, because it puts them in better position as well to be seen. You know what I'm saying? For whatever level they trying to get at. So say if you're a college guy, them front office is looking at your ground. Yeah. To see if they want to give you all this money. You get what I'm saying? If you're a high school guy, I promise you, the college coaches are looking and dictating and making judgment and off your Instagram of what they think you is, or what they think what type of human being you are. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's beneficial for them because they can catfish. But you know, the negative is they too locked in with it.
Yeah.
It makes or break them. You know what I'm saying? And it's just supposed to be a plus. And you're not supposed to hang your hat on the ground. Because at the end of the day, you got to go bump. And then the gram is never going to save you from the bump. Because at some point, you're going to have to produce.
Yeah.
No matter how much you try to run away from it or get your father to dictate it, the bump and all that. But at some point, when you want to get to the level you is, you want to check ball. And just that element of it. You know what I'm saying? So if they could just, you know, find the balance into it, man, look how much money they're getting off of it. Yeah. Like they are getting money off of it. They're judging you from your gram. It's like, okay, I would give him $90,000 for NIL. You know, he looks clean cut or whatever they're looking for. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just that fine balance. But you know, obviously the kids do they too dig deep into it, man, because everybody got highlight tapes. And they paying hard-earned dollars for them. Yeah. And the highlight tapes are some of the biggest catfish personas you'll ever see. Mm-hmm. And I'm joking because that's just my personality. But
you serious on that?
But it's so true. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you gotta just stay locked in with the work and not the stuff that come with it. And then you're gonna reap the benefits of everything that come with it. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that's all. It's just about being focused on that part of it.
Mm-hmm. So man, talk to me about the basketball league. Okay. You know, we spoke a little bit about it. Like, tell me why that's important instead of guys going overseas. Yeah. And then I want to know about the team that you're coaching, and you know, you got some heavy hitters on that roster.
Yeah. So the TBL, the basketball league, is growing. It's a great opportunity. It's probably about 28 to 29 teams right now going across. From the West Coast to the South over to the north to the northern region.
So it's just in the United States.
Just in the United States.
Okay.
It's a great opportunity for guys to not sacrifice so much. Like I joked around with you and said it, but I would have been the first guy trying to get into it because I was a guy in Barcelona making $2,800 a month, right? And I might have looked like something on Instagram, but I wasn't dictating no real revenue. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? And so. The TBL gives you the opportunity. The highest contract is $5,000, so you know it's still growing. So it gives you the opportunity to make solid money, eat dinner with your family, and go home instead of being 24 hours away. Yeah. And it's going to continue to grow. It's right under the G League. The G League got their hands on it, and they looking to get guys like you've seen guys like Lenny Waters playing for the Golden State Warriors. He was just in TBL 2.5 years ago.
Oh wow!
And he got his first contract this year. So the film from the TBL is beneficial. Mm-hmm. Guys, every time they play in it, they go straight to North America, straight to Mexico, Canada, because the owner, David Magley, is connected to the Canada League. Okay. So it gives you a direct opportunity from 3 or 4 leagues, and it shows you how beneficial the film means. Like you know what I'm saying. So it's beneficial for you. I think it's the perfect third league that you can have. You know how you have so many leagues and the competition level and the money level will drop off. I think for this to be a third American league. Yeah. I think it's a great foundation to start. It's going to continue to grow. It's going to continue to develop, real opportunities for guys. I'm excited.
Yeah, man. So talk to me about that roster, man. Y'all got the Crime Stopper on the team. You got Braswell and some other guys, man. Y'all gotta let's talk about that.
The Georgetown Braswell.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I got about 7 guys signed right now.
Okay.
I'll probably go max 11. Man, we got some hitters, bro. And it's gonna be interesting to see
how you gonna manage all the personalities.
At the end of the day, I'm a personality. So
is it true?
That's just honest. You know what I'm saying? And everybody they was contacted me to be here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if I ain't put no gun to your head and make you come here, you want to be here.
Right.
So if you want to be here, I got a couple non-negotiables for you. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you want to get this money. You know what I'm saying? Got to play hard. We got to move the ball, play together, move bodies. Play how they play at the highest level, so guys continue to make money for their family. That's all I'm trying to do is help guys further their opportunities as professionals. And I think it's a great opportunity because you're still in America, man. Instead of going to Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, and make make 2,800 pesos,
Mm-hmm.
and I did that. You know what I'm saying? And I wish the opportunity presented itself like this. This would have been golden for me.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a great opportunity. Definitely to get some young guys that's fresh out to give that type of guys opportunities too. Guys that's fresh out of college, they can play right away and not just shine guys, they're just 30 and over. But, we want to be entertained. Nobody wants to see nobody smacking the backboard on their layups. You know what I'm saying? So we get some.
Do y'all still have like tryouts, or how do people get ready to get on your roster?
So I did host 2 tryouts. I hosted one at the Athletic Republic, and then I kind of got a format of guys that I like from there, and then hosted an open run, and kind of just trying to see what kind of last cut makes I go into training camp. Training camp is in February.
Okay.
League starts March 1st.
Okay.
So it's right around the corner. So we're just trying to really, and we are a first year team, so we're trying to really develop a culture, right away, and that's why. I try to set the standard and go get some guys that, that's played at a high level so they can see what the standard is.
Nah, that's cool, man. We wish you a lot of success on that.
Man, I appreciate it. I'm excited. I'm excited to see, the level of competition.
Where y'all play y'all games at?
It's at Capital University. Definitely.
Oh, really?
Tickets will be online.
I'm gonna definitely pull up.
Please,
Yeah,
brother. I want your assessment. I want your real basketball IQ assessment of things. I'm still a student too.
Yeah.
So I love to hear the feedback, and that's the only way you can get better and develop results when you can get an honest feedback on what you're trying to get done. So
about as honest as can be. So
yeah, that's my love language, bro. You be honest and you gotta talk a little shit. If you ain't talking no shit to me, then we ain't. That's just how I get down. If I mess with you, I gotta shoot a little jab to you. That's just how we was, the competitive nature of how we was brought up, and it's just that type of foundation stick with you for a long time. That's why I'm educated about what I'm showing these kids early when I got them at that pre-teen stage.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That 11 to 13.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to make sure what I'm showing them and the habits that I'm getting them can install into them as grown men. And so, that's what it's what it's all about.
All right.
So we talked about a little bit about the NIL.
Okay.
So what's your thoughts on NIL? Like,
I miss it. Why they wait that long? That's my honest assessment because man, I love it, but it's balanced to it. They going a little too left. I think they're giving a little.
You think they need to take back some money or put some rewards into it? Say if you are not producing, we are taking away some of this
I wouldn't
money.
even take it away because they're not professionals.
They're not professionals? They getting paid like it?
That's why the organic out of it, I think, is kind of where it's going too left because it's taking the transparency out of really being a pro. And everybody can't call themselves a pro. And if I was making $200,000 in college, I would be damned if I want to be a pro too. What's the you know what I'm saying? What's the static on it? Like I'm doing the same. They coming out of college making 6 figures. When we came out, we trying to figure out life.
Yeah.
And they coming out with 250. And so I do like that part of just being able to set their lives up. But I think they're giving out too much of it, and it's taking the organicity away from basketball, and it's hard to coach like that too, though. That's why as soon as somebody's being held accountable, they're in the portal. That's why the portal is where it's at now. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been transferring forever. So that's why now it's just more light to it because everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I think that money is making everybody doing it. You better watch how you hold me accountable too if I'm getting 150. Watch how you talking to me, Scrap. Like, go to Memphis with Penny and go get 200. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's the mindset. And so that's why I think it's taking the organicity away from it because they're losing what they're working for. They're wise. You work to go get that 7 figures.
Yeah.
You don't go to school. You don't go to English with 600 in your bank account.
Right.
And you got math at 9 a.m.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? You're still a student.
Right.
So that's why I think they weren't going to. I think you give them change. You know what I'm saying? Make sure they're good. They don't need nothing. I mean, obviously you give them. Make sure they They can eat. They can, buy a little something, but not. You shouldn't be able to buy no Maybach.
Yeah.
I said, y'all can put that Maybach on there. Boy, what's the point of going to the NFL? There's no point.
Yeah.
No point of calling myself the luxury of calling myself a professional, where I'm going to English at 10:30 a.m. and I got 300,000 in my account, and I'm 19. Them boys buying $60,000 watches. Oh, they on the bench looking at me. I said, man, what?
Yeah, I saw
They
that.
10 years late, man. I'm telling you, I would have tore it. Ooh, I would have tore them up, boy. I
bet you would have.
Man, man, boy, I'd have been a full schools. I'd have been getting that check. I'm telling you. So now that's just my thoughts on it. I think they just dumb it down a little bit. And I think you'll still get the old school flavor back into just just being accountable and teaching them how to be young men.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think you can't teach me how to be a young man if I gotta be.
Nah,
yeah, especially if some of them they making more than the coach.
Yeah, wow, what you got to say to me? Like, and granted, that's ignorant, but it's easy to think like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think that, one, they should have started in '08. That's one. And two, it's just a little too much, and it's taking the organicity out of basketball, out of college basketball.
All right. So look, man, we got a game we play at the end.
Okay.
It's called Either Or.
All right.
Hey, there, but it's ginger.
Man, hell no, I thought it was a pineapple, man. I'm ready to see what we got going on, man. So what's the either or? Okay.
You either choose one. If you say both, you got. We're gonna take a hit with you.
We're gonna take a hit with you. All right.
I feel like I gotta change these questions based on what the man that talked about, man. So I gotta figure some stuff out, man, because he's so new school that I know what he gonna do.
Oh, I'm gonna embarrass you, bro. You gonna hate it though, and I mean it genuinely too, though.
All right, no problem. Okay, here we go. Melo from Charlotte
Okay.
or Ant?
I'm going Melo right now, as of today.
Okay.
Yeah, he going crazy right now. I think he's 30-9 right now.
Even though he don't be winning?
I mean, and ain't winning either, so.
All right, okay. All right. Melo or Penny?
LaMelo.
Or Penny Hardaway?
Oh, that's my answer.
Oh, damn. Okay, this is going to be tough. All right. Kyrie or AI?
I'm going to go Bubba Chuck.
Oh, okay. He got some love for the old school.
He got new. He the one though.
All right. I got an old school one for him.
Okay.
Let's see what your where you at. Troy Hudson.
Okay.
You remember him?
Yes.
Okay. Or Isaiah Thomas. Lefty.
Oh, IT?
Uh-huh.
I think that was a no-brainer. I think that's like this.
Oh, okay.
You seen that when IT had that 5-5 man in the playoffs?
Okay. All right.
I don't know how he still did it to this day.
All right. Avery Bradley or Drew Holiday.
Man, both of them gonna have you coming up the floor looking like Sam Cassell, or you gonna be like Mark Jackson coming to the court. They I ain't even gonna lie. Avery right under your armpit too, man. Like you can't even do no moves. I think I'm gonna go Drew, because Drew can guard the post.
Okay.
You don't gotta double on Drew in that post, no matter who it is. So that's why. And then Donovan Mitchell again. I mean, what's his boy man? Mitchell from the point guard from Baylor. Well, now he's at Toronto Raptors. He went to Baylor. Not Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, yeah. I know
the same name. I got the same name. But yeah, like you can't even post him.
Yeah.
He checking the best players, no matter if it's the 1, 2, or the 3, 6, 9, and they ducking him in, and he's holding his own.
Yeah.
So that I probably gotta go with Drew. Drew a better offensive player. Drew was top 3 in the country.
Okay. Rondo or CP3?
Well, that's beef too. They do that.
Uh-huh.
Who punched who?
Rondo.
I'm going Rondo. I'm going with the thorough one. I'm like, but, yeah, man, I'm going Rondo. No, I ain't going to my, okay, you know what I'm saying? And the Rondo doing 20 assists and 20 rebounds at that.
Yeah.
And he won.
Okay. All right.
They ain't got 2, right? Rondo got 2 rings.
Yeah, he do.
Mm-hmm.
Gary Payton or J. Kidd?
Ooh. I'm going glove. I'm going. Ooh, that's a good one, bro. I ain't gonna lie right there. I think I'm gonna go with J. Kidd.
You just don't want to take a ginger shot.
No, hell no, I don't want to take one of them ginger shots. I don't know.
This nigga don't want to say both for nothing.
That was the probably the closest one to get the both, but I ain't gonna lie, you told me over the ginger shot, man. I ain't. Let me smell it though. Let me just see. That's all right. I'll take one just for the culture.
It smells great.
Put one right there. Man, you dead wrong, Stan. I ain't gonna hold you. You dead wrong for this one.
I'll take one with you,
Yeah,
dog.
I'm gonna get one to Ricky too.
Oh, damn.
He ain't gonna scout me, but we gonna look crazy together. Oh, why would you do that to me?
Look, I just saw on your Instagram that you needed to do some push-ups. So this is like,
Wow.
this is helping you.
How?
Inflammation in your body. Help your muscles grow.
I thought we had a nice little foundation going. I thought you was my man and all that. You done messed my night up with that one. Oh my God. That was.
You didn't have to take it. You decided to.
You say that now I'm breathing on my ears. God. Well, so what does that do though? It's healthy?
Yeah, real healthy. I eat this all the time. In the morning.
But how is it healthy though?
Cleans
I'm trying to educate myself.
Cleans your system.
Health, okay.
Yeah, clean your system.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the other route though. Nice Tim or something like that. We going that route, bro.
All right. D Rose or Westbrook?
Man, I'm supposed to say that gender one for that one. I'll open it back. I'm gonna find one for you. I'm gonna find an answer for you. Trust me. My mouth burning right now. I'm gonna find an answer for you. I'm gonna think I'm gonna go Russ, man. Why would I even think that hard?
Okay, all right.
And no, that's respect to D Rose, because D Rose bad boy. I think it's just the longevity of Russ doing it for that long and averaging the triple double twice goes unnoticed, bro, because he's just such a high level and high maintenance point. What I mean by high maintenance on that, it's not ideal of what you say a point guard is or what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna go Russ.
All right. Luka.
Don't doubt that. That right there, that's the baddest boy in the league.
Or Shea.
What did I say? Luka, anybody.
I've been telling them this about Luka, man.
Luka,
time there.
Are you watching that? Gay. I mean, body look like mine. He going half speed. Man, he made a jump shot and didn't jump on the layup contested. I said, oh, he playing with us over here. I'm with him. We're going tomorrow.
Okay. All right.
They down here
They play tomorrow. No way I don't watch that show tomorrow. But all jokes aside, Shea a bad boy though. Because Shea mastered some things that he gonna be scoring 30 for a long time. He might do it he might average that for a decade with what his numbers is right now. Come on, SGA.
All right. Tatum or Brown?
Tatum.
Gill or Dame? This point, I'm just trying to get this nigga. He gonna give you what?
Yeah. That's a good one, bro. I think I'm gonna be a little biased though, because I watched Gil turn the farms out.
Okay.
Just being a Washingtonian and watch him ride his bike on Sullivan Parkway, like he wasn't riding farms with no chain, like he wasn't giving a ring, like he really was a rock star here.
Yeah.
He turned this thing up, and he just, damn ass. I'm gonna Gil.
Okay.
I'm just gonna be biased. I think I'm just being biased with that.
That's cool. Everybody got their biases. KG or Duncan?
Dirt. I think I'm gonna go. Timmy, man. I gotta go Timmy.
All right.
Timmy might be the best power forward all time. My favorite is just Dirk though. That's why I love that dynamic of.
So you like the Europeans?
Yeah, man, they doing us dirty, too skilled, man. They one knee up, high off the glass, and we flying.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather do that any day. You gonna last longer doing that.
Yeah. Melo or Paul Pierce?
Carmelo?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going Melo.
All right.
You ain't go spicy. Because I only think maybe 5 old heads can play right now. They all big, and majority of them big though.
He's so disrespectful. He's so disrespectful.
So you telling me this? Watch this.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
And Larry Bird, a bad boy. Watch how hard I go. Watch it. He's a bad boy. But if he had Kevin on Tuesday, Bron on Friday, next week he go to the Claw.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He go PG.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you gonna have a long night, bro.
I mean, I feel that, right? But I also feel like you're not respecting the evolution of the game when you say that.
I think I'm going too hard on the evolution.
Because if Larry was playing today with his mindset, he would be a different player than he is right now, than he was back then. Like, they will all adapt and evolve.
You can't adapt to grab a dollar off the backboard like these dudes do.
He still find a way to get his shot off. Shea don't jump at all and get his shot off. Luka don't jump at all and get his shot off. You telling me Larry Bird would be able to figure that out?
He don't look like Shea though. Shea sharp as attack, bro. Low to the ground.
Yeah, but
Larry shot that thing from the phone on his ear. He was on the phone when he shot it from right here on the side. He couldn't jump over a paper bag. Like, man, come on, Larry. What are you doing, man?
All right. How you go there? All right.
Yeah, no, I'm disrespectful. I went Larry early too. That's crazy.
Kobe or Bron?
Bean.
You said Bean?
Bean.
Oh! Wow. I didn't expect that.
Why didn't you?
Do you hear yourself?
Why didn't you expect that?
Did you hear yourself? See, I've been trying to find people in your era. Okay, all right. MJ or Bron?
Mike.
Okay. Kobe or MJ?
Bean.
Okay, so you're a Bean guy.
For sure.
Okay. All
I'm a
right.
Bean. I'm a mama mentality guy.
Okay. All right.
I don't like your energy though. You going Bron over MJ? I think you was.
No, I was not.
Oh, we was going Bron over Kobe?
I was just trying to feel where you was at. You know what I'm saying? I know where I'm at. I don't voice my opinion on the show.
Okay, that's how I set you up. That's how I set you up.
I know where I'm at.
I get some content right there.
And everybody know where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? But that's not for me. The show is about you right now, young man.
I think you going MJ?
All day.
Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 38.
Yeah, you going MJ.
I'm going MJ. But I had some guys at my age that went.
That's why I'm going Bean though.
That went Bron. Man, I was
So I get the argument now. At first I didn't get it.
I don't get it, but whatever.
You gotta get it though.
I don't need to get it.
Let me tell you why though.
Go ahead.
Or let me try to tell you why.
Go ahead.
And it's coming from a Bean. I'm a Bean fanatic.
Right.
But this man, you ate 2?
I'm gonna eat some more.
You eating them like chips though.
Yeah.
My mouth still on fire.
Right. I do that.
So what I was saying was the reason why it's a real conversation because his best attribute is not to put the ball in the basket, and he's the all-time leading points.
I ain't gonna let you do that.
I'm
gonna tell you why.
An assist.
I'm gonna tell you why I can't let you do that. Because go look at how many games this man played versus how many games MJ played.
I hear that argument, but you can't hold that against him. You can't hold his longevity against him because MJ got bored. You know what I'm saying? Like he went to go sit on the couch 2 years. You
did it again.
I get it. I get it, but it's definitely a real conversation.
To you.
You think it ain't no conversation.
To you.
So tell me what you think about, I think it was Shy who said this, right?
What?
He compared Mike and Braun, when came in when he was younger, just their journey is like the same.
Meaning like nobody saw somebody like MJ, just like nobody saw somebody like Bron. And so they're not the same player, but their evolution is what made them special.
But then
So I agree with
he
that.
went in more saying like Jordan wasn't winning when he first came in. They was losing, and then he got to the point he started winning.
Yep.
Braun kind of did the same thing. He wasn't winning, and now
Wasn't the best shooter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Wasn't
involved.
the best. Yeah.
And you gotta think Braun still had the most scrutiny and pressure of any athlete.
Yeah.
You gotta take that into consideration. I'm still not gonna. I don't think that's still gonna win my vote, but I definitely can listen to the conversation for sure now, and don't be disrespectful because it's like, ooh, I mean, what can you? Top 3 in assists and points. I get he played 22 years, but that's hard too at that level. You know what I'm saying? He ain't like he playing 22 years and he 11, 5, and 4. He's still 25, 9, and 8. So it's just like, ooh.
Even though it's easier to get them numbers now, though. Just, I want you to think of this. The only thing I want to say with this is, back in that day, you had to be that dude to get 30 in the NBA.
And it was tough, this defense.
Now, a role player can come off the bench and get 30.
Because they that good, though.
It's because of the rules, too.
I agree with you on that, too, though.
You know what I mean? Like, it's so easy to get 30. If you can shoot now, the way they expect, like, you're going to get 30. Like, you couldn't do that back in the day.
I think the 8th man is some bump, too, though.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like the evolution of it, because, you know, Mike 8th man was Scott Burrell or somebody, you know what I'm saying? And that's a whole different dynamic than, you know what I'm saying, than who's a great 6th man off the bench right now. You know what I mean? But it's just a different level of basketball. But I'm going, is D Wade or Hard next?
I gotta put D Wade just because he won.
Because he won.
Mm-hmm.
Take the championship out.
Probably D Wade.
No championship. That's a better basketball player than James Harden.
James Harden a bad man. Bad man. I just think because D Wade played D.
The tangibles.
His intangibles was off the chart.
I think he might be like the all-time leading guard. Block shots. Like, yeah,
got a lot of steals.
My coaching hat, I agree with you. With my ignorant player side, I'm going to step back.
That's cool.
You know what I'm saying?
That's cool.
Just the dynamic of how him and Curry got people playing the game. It's like, so Harden has individually made everybody, you know what I'm saying, change the way they doing their things. And boom, Curry has made a team concept of, you know what I'm saying, how we play. We're going to shoot as a team, we're going to shoot 45 threes. No matter how many go in, but we want to get those attempts up. And so I think,
we gotta close this out, but no, that's cool. But do you feel as though you're shooting threes just to shoot them versus like you can find a better shot? Like, I'm a mid-range dude. I'm a mid-range dude, right? And I feel like we be shooting these threes, but everybody's not adapted to make threes. Meaning, like, the Warriors, their best players were three-point shooters. All these other teams, your best player is not a three-point shooter. So you should adapt to the style of your team, not the style of the league.
Yeah, I agree. I think the NBA got it wrong with that. Just like I think they got it wrong just with their defensive schemes. That don't even, the logic they run with don't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, I get the switch and everything. You know, I do get it. But, you know, everything has to have some type of balance to it. So you don't really live with Luka, who averaged 32 on the guards. You don't really live with your 5-man guard him for 6 minutes of the playoffs. But that's the dynamic of, they'll live with that switch. Like, you get what I'm saying? And it's like, and then they switch up with no purpose. So it's like they point switch. Like, you get what I'm saying? To where it's like, you might could have got through that one. You could have saved the switch right there. The one thing I do pick up from the rotation in the NBA, they try not to rotate. So I get the why. They try their best not to put 2 on the basketball. You get what I'm saying? But sometimes, you know, that you have to do that.
That scramble is good, though.
That scramble is healthy. That speeds the offense up as well. You know, it makes the offense make a read.
Right.
But they want to just keep everything in front, and they live with that result. It's like, how can you literally don't make no adjustment? I'm talking the greatest coach, the best coach, are living with that switch result with no adjustment.
Mm.
And so that's why I'm just like, that got to be a culture thing in the
Yeah,
league. Like, you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? They always say it's a copycat league, so it got to be a culture thing in the league. Just like I see JJ bringing all the horn sets and stuff back.
Mhm.
So that was a patient space. Get him out the middle of the floor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just the dynamic of just, elevating and adjusting.
Mhm.
And I think that's what I don't get there. This little scheme, just like I said, I don't get how they think everybody is a 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
That just don't make logical sense. But yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
All right, so man, we definitely at the end of the interview. At the end, we always give the floor to the guests to give encouragement,
Okay.
more Jews to players, parents, coaches, other trainers. We give you the floor.
I think I'll start off with the blueprint thing again. And I think that goes to life in general. And the parents could take that in consideration as well, because it takes the delusion and out the parent. Because that makes sense. If my son be any good, I probably want to cause a little delusion myself, just of being a father, right?
Mhm.
But for the sake of the sport and the respect of the game, man, it's a blueprint that you just have to follow, that makes your job easier. And then I was try to install some patience, because the process thing is real. This stuff doesn't happen overnight. No overnight success happens, because you got to play the long game.
Mhm.
And so that's why I think just be real transparent and honest, and find your person that you trust. I think everybody, even when we grew up, we all had our person.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of options now. But you find your guy that your son has the rapport with. And you feel like you trust him, and he give him information and knowledge, and you just kind of live with the results and go from there. And I just think you got to just be patient on the results. And I think they want fast results. That's why it's the nature of moving in teams and moving at every level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm talking from 9 to college.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's just something that we all can work on and hold yourself accountable on, even as just humans. So I think that's if people take that into consideration and know that everybody's went through the same exact thing, we can get some different results, or it's a smoother transition, even if you don't make it professional.
Yeah.
You get a chance to like I always tell my father, the biggest gift I can give you was, you had 8 years of putting your money in your pocket.
Mhm.
And that's a win as well, instead of making $100 million. You get what I'm saying? So it's all the win. It's a bunch of small wins in it. So just stay patient. Just run your race. Don't look through the rear view to try to see what somebody else is doing and compare it. And live with the results, man.
All right, y'all. That's a wrap from the scientists, man. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and follow.
And make sure you stay game related.